afternoon, fantasy football fans and Dober fantasy players. This week's edition of Monday Night Football will feature a rematch of last season's NFC divisional round playoff game, where the Atlanta Falcons beat the Seattle Seahawks 36-20. Though the rosters are just about the same, both teams are significantly worse than they were a year ago. With Devonta Freeman already rolled out for this game due to concussion, Tevin Coleman should have all the work he can handle. After Freeman was injured against Dallas, Coleman set a season high in touches while piling up 88 yards and a touchdown. Coleman has 8.9 Dober fantasy points or more in 7 of 9 games this season. With Richard Sherman out for the season, we expect Matt Ryan to focus the majority of his passes to outside receivers, Julio Jones, Mohammed Sanu, and Taylor Gabriel. Austin Hooper will run most of his routes against Earl Thomas, Cam Chancellor, and the Seattle linebackers. It's hard to imagine Hooper winning many of those matchups. The second-year tight end has just 4 games this season with more than 8 Dober fantasy points, so in a hostile environment on the road, Hooper is an easy fade for Dober play cards on Monday night. Jimmy Graham has 6 touchdowns in his last 5 games, and he now matches up with the Falcons defense that gave up 9.4 Dober fantasy points to Jason Witten. Graham's speed is all but gone, but as he showed with 2 touchdowns last Thursday, he can still elevate and embarrass defensive backs on jump balls. The running game in Seattle has been a disaster, so the Seahawks are calling a lot of pass plays near the goal line. Graham should continue to benefit from that this week and going forward. Paul Richardson has 5 touchdowns on the season, second most on the team. But when he has not scored a touchdown, Richardson doesn't have a game with more than 8 Dober fantasy points. The Falcons have been stingy against wide receivers this season, giving up just 22.4 Dober fantasy points per game to that position. An overvalued player in a bad matchup, Richardson is a good fade for Dober play cards this week.